Hello everybody and welcome to the Arkansas Weather Blog. We are your ticket to big weather events. Very happy with how the forecast panned out on Sunday morning. This morning I'm recording this Sunday shortly before 7 o'clock in the evening. But very happy with the way the forecast turned out. We had the icing, especially western and northern Arkansas. And there were unfortunately some wrecks. Power outages kept to a minimum. And then the warm air came in from the south. And you know, the warm air came in because it's retreating cold air. And then the wind started veering out of the southeast. There was a conveyor belt of warm air aloft. And there's so much warm air aloft, so you couldn't have snow. And then eventually that worked its way down to the surface with warmer temperatures, pushed that 32-degree line. You're looking at the surface chart for midnight tonight. You see strong area. This is, again, at the surface. This is a very strong area of high pressure, which will come down and give us a big chill. This video, I'm going to show you several things going on. The cold weather coming in Tuesday and Wednesday. There's talk about wintry weather for Wednesday, the January thaw, and how long that lasts. You know, you may hear a lot of stuff going around social media, and you got to be careful with the sources where you hear this from. But as far as Wednesday's forecast is concerned, you know, last week it looked like it was going to be a snow event for Arkansas on Wednesday, and I cautioned. I was like, wait, everything on the GFS 7 to 10 days out, there's always a storm 7 to 10 days out, but it never materialized. Well, it's never. Sometimes, eventually, something's going to happen, but it's looks awfully weak, so I'm not expecting much. But anyway, this is high pressure coming in. You see the rain. This is at midnight tonight, and the freezing line is pushed way off towards the north. So we got the warmer air coming in. But the cold air comes back in. This is late Monday. High pressure located up here in the northwestern areas of Iowa. We're getting the cold wind coming back into Arkansas and the chill. We're going to have high temperatures. Look at this. Let's just go out here to noon on Tuesday, according to the experimental GFS. There's the area of high pressure. The 32-degree line at noon is right around Little Rock. So it's most of Tuesday and even to Wednesday going to be spent in the 20s and 30s. Very cold air. See this? Here's the disturbance the models have been picking up on for quite some time. But as this ejects out of the western United States, it really starts to fall apart, loses its identity, and is moisture starved. So this is going to chase the cold air out too. So this is Wednesday afternoon. At noon, you see some very light snows in Oklahoma. That tries to push into northwestern areas of Arkansas. It's still quite cold on Wednesday, but this falls apart as it moves into the state. You see that? That's by midnight. So I expect there's going to be a little bit of snow, but mainly northern Arkansas, and it shouldn't amount to too much. Let's go out here towards, this is Saturday. There's that cold area of high pressure. It is now along the east coast. You're getting a return flow. There's low pressure located up here near the Canadian and Minnesota border. It's bottling up the cold air towards the north. You're not getting a flow out of the south. Or out of the north. It's coming now out of the south and the southwest, and you're getting strong warming. So at noon Saturday, the 35-degree line is way up here in Iowa and Indiana, and the 32-degree line is up here in the lakes, which means I think places in Arkansas, wouldn't be a bit surprised, got into the 60s. But how long does this January thaw last? For that, let's go to what we call the GFS ensembles. A bunch of computer models are run, put together, and this is the mean. Actually, this is the control run, but I'm not going to get into all that. But let's start out where we are right now. Let me explain what you're looking at. A bird's eye view of the northern hemisphere. Okay? And this is showing you all the ridges and the troughs, the storms moving across the northern hemisphere. And you're looking at a bird's eye view, the North Pole located about right here. And then here's the United States. You see Texas, Arkansas, Florida over here. There's the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean. And here's where we're at right now. You see this big ridge right up the Eastern Pacific and into Alaska. Well, that's a big ridge. Remember, the flow of air goes and then down, grabs that cold air, and it comes down into the United States. So this is key to get Arctic air into the United States, at least one of the ways that you get Arctic air into the United States. You've got to have these positive heights, is what we call it here at 500 millibars. You have to have that ridging take place across portions of the Eastern Pacific and into Alaska. I think I've made myself clear on that for quite some time. So let's go. This is 8 days down the road on the 19th. Where's the ridge? It's gone. See, the ridge, at least part of it has moved on off towards the east. It's all replaced now with lower pressures. The flow of air is more coming up. The flow is more off the Pacific Ocean. The country gets flooded with Pacific air. So there's our January thaw, late this weekend into the weekend. So the ridge is gone. But how long does that last? Well, let's go back. Let's go further. And this has been very consistent in showing this. Look at this. So this is day 11, the 25th of January. And lo and behold, I think by the 22nd or 23rd this is going to happen. There's the ridge again. So it comes back. The flow of air should start to come back out of Canada, and we're back into some wintertime type of weather. I don't know about snow and ice. It's way too early to get into details about that. And this is out to day 16 here, and you still see ridging, cold air coming down. And that will bring back winter for sure. Now let's look at, again, the ensembles of the GFS, and these are showing you anomalies. We'll go to day 1 here. These are anomalies, surface temperatures in degrees Celsius, the anomalies, the departure from average. And I'm covering up the scale here, but you see the greens. When you get into these greens and purples, that's well below average. Where you get into the reds, that's above average. It's still cold in Alaska, it's just above average. So instead of it being 40 below, it's 20 below. So it's still very cold, but relative to the average. And you see the ridging taking place here. And again, this is what's happening right now. Very cold for areas east of the Rocky Mountains, including Arkansas. So that's what we're experiencing right now. Watch what happens. The cold starts to break down. Look at the warm air coming in. The Pacific air starts to come in. Temperatures nationwide. This is, how many days away is this? This is on the 19th, so 7 to 8 days. Look at this. And the Climate Prediction Center agrees that there's a very high confidence in the 6 to 10 and 8 to 14 day outlook for above average temperatures, but towards that 14 days, the end of that 14 days, I'll show you what's going to happen. But yeah, there's the January thaw. You're looking at positive anomalies here, warmer than average by 3, 4, 5 degrees Celsius for a time. That's days 7 and 8. But look what happens here. This is 9 through 10, days 10 and 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 14, 15, 14, there's 14, 15, and there's 15, 16. So see how it changed back? Look, you get the above, you get the anomalies, the positive anomalies here, and it looks like the models are trying to pick up on colder air coming back into the United States. So could this all be wrong? Absolutely. And, I stick to a forecast that's, 7 to 10 days in length. And so I'm venturing out even further, just trying to see what the trends are, how this may all unfold. But it does appear, according to the ensembles here that I'm looking at in the long range, we get that January thaw. That's denoted in all the operational models as well. You see the January thaw coming at the end of the week and into the weekend. And then it looks like that lasts for a few days, and then we go back into a cold weather pattern. Winter, there's still plenty of it. Boy, I tell you, everybody's getting, where's the snow? Where's the snow? We're so spoiled from the past couple of years, including this year. We had snow in November. The past couple of years we've had snow and ice in December. You got to remember, we normally don't get our big snows until January or February, and sometimes March. Now, I'm not saying we're going to get a big snow, but boy, we spoiled the past couple of years. I did a graphic not too long ago showing that this decade, and we're only halfway through it, has had more snow this decade, and it's only 5 years old, than several of the other previous decades of the 1900s and even 1800s. So we're a little spoiled in that regard. So there's plenty of time. There's more cold air. The thaw is coming. Now you know when to call in sick. Thanks for coming to the Arkansas Weather Blog. We are your ticket to big weather events.